we are going to discuss for week 6 the properties of matter. So our lesson objectives: define physical property, list and describe physical properties of matter, define chemical property, and describe examples of chemical properties in of matter. So what are we have in this screen is an organizer about the properties of matter. So we have here the first question. Can the property be determined without changing the identity of the substance? So which means, pwede ba nating ma-determine yung property ng matter kahit hindi natin baguhin ang identity ng isang substance? So we have here answer no for chemical properties and yes for physical properties. So as you can see here, we have two types of physical properties. Those are the intensive property and the extensive property. So for extensive, we have the density, color, luster, odor, malleability, conductivity, hardness, ductility, boiling point, and melting point. While here for extensive property, we have the mass, volume, and the weight. For chemical properties, we have listed here the reactivity, flammability, toxicity, ability to oxidize, and the heat of combustion. So now let us proceed first to physical properties. So for physical properties, that is a characteristic of a substance that can be observed or measured without changing the identity of the substance. So our best example for this one is the salt. Salt is dull and brittle and conducts electricity when it has been dissolved in water. So we have listed different kinds of physical properties here. So it includes the color, hardness, malleability, solubility, electrical conductivity, density, melting point, and boiling point. So in our next slide, we are going to discuss each of them. So let us start with color. Hindi ko sinama si color doon eh. So color po, by using our naked eye, we can now see what color are the objects around you. So for example, I have here a black printer, black laptop, yellow paper, the wood is brown. So by using our naked eye, we can actually determine the color of an object. All right? So let us move with this next slide. So for density, this can be very useful parameter for identifying an element. Of the materials that exist as solids at room temperature, iodine has a very low density compared to zinc, chromium, and tin. So gold has a very high density, as does the platinum. Okay, our next is the hardness. So by just looking at the object, we can determine, no, if the object is hard, if the object is soft, or the object, or how can we use this object. So for example, you saw a piece of wood. So alam na natin that this wood is hard, no? We saw a piece of cotton or a cotton. So alam natin that the cotton is soft. All right? So we can also determine by just looking at the object if where can we use that? Or what might be its use? For example, you need to use the hammer, pero wala kayong martilyo sa bahay. Kailangan mong ibaon itong pako na to, di ba? So instead na gumamit ka ng malalambot na bagay, you will use hard objects in replacement of the hammer. All right? Next is the malleability. So for malleability, uh, it can be molded into thin sheets without being without breaking. So the very best example for malleable object is a silver. So a silver is a shiny metal that conducts electricity very well. Next is our melting point. So melting point is the point at which materials changes from solid to liquid. So by analyzing this, melting point is the temperature at which a material can melt. Okay, so for example, we have the ice. Now, from being a solid, and if the ice reaches its melting point, it will melt and change its form into liquid. Another is the boiling point. So boiling point is the temperature at which the vapor pressure is equal to the standard sea level atmospheric pressure. So boiling point, it is the temperature at which an object can boil. No? Can boil. Next, the solubility. So for the solubility, it is defined as the maximum amount of substance that is or that will dissolve in a given amount of solvent at a specified temperature. So for solubility, or it came from the word solution. So we know that solution, it has solute and solvent. Solvent. All right. So let us have an example. So let us have sugar and water as an example of solution. So this is how solubility takes place. If meron po tayong isang kutsarang asukal na we need to dissolve it in 50 ml of water, we need to know how many granules of sugar is being dissolved per ml of water. So, ibig sabihin, it is defined as the amount of substance that will dissolve in a given amount of solvent. So, do not forget that we have the solute and solvent in terms of solution. Next is the electrical conductivity. So, it is the measure of the amount of electrical current a material can carry or its ability to carry a current. So from the word electrical conductivity, these materials are best conductor of electricity. Conductor meaning these are materials that electrical or electricity can pass through them. For example, metal spoon, metal fork, the nails, yung pako, at iba't iba pang gawa sa metal. And then we also have water. No? Water is also an electric conductor. All right. So let us move now with chemical properties. Ito yung niload sa'kin nun pero automatic wala agad. Okey.